Daryl come and Daryl was staying here at the house alone, or over to Darren and Cindy's, or to Mark and Lois's, or to Max and Joyce, and they were down the falls. So he didn't go down there very often, but he stayed around here. And on Daryl's birthday, our bishop's wife, Winnie Cottle, made him a big birthday cake and brought it here to the house for him. So he'd have a birthday cake. And it was hard on Daryl because he was going to school and things like that. But I got to tell you something else that happened before this. When I was in the hospital, and they monitored my tray, you know, how much what I was eating. And Theron and Kay was in there painting. No, excuse me, Theron and Daryl was in there painting. And when I couldn't eat all the stuff, Theron said, "Gee, can I have that, Mom? Well, it's pretty good. Sure, be my guest." So they cleaned up my tray. And Joyce came up one time and saw him doing, she said, "What are you guys doing?" And cleaned up Mom's tray. And Joyce got laughing. She, you know, they're monitoring what food goes into this room and what goes out, and they can't figure out why Mother's not gaining any weight. Now we know. And I said, "Well, I couldn't see any sense of letting food go to waste." Darren says, "Neither could I." But after that, they didn't do it. They left it alone. Well, I spent the Christmas at the Barretts, and Bob Martin let me take the parallel bars to Lois's, and the walker that I had. And then Gail Walker got a wheelchair from the VFW and let me, I didn't have to pay for that, and I used that wheelchair. They put the parallel bars up on Lois and Mark's kitchen floor, and their floors were quite slick, so I got in the habit of not picking my feet up, but sliding them. And Lois happened to see me, so she put them in on the carpet. And you didn't slide your feet on the carpet. I had to pick up my feet to walk in on the carpet. But one night, we was walking in the kind of the walker that I had, in the wheelchair. I was in the wheelchair, and they were walking me from their refrigerator to the west wall. I told her I was tired. She said, "Fine. Then sit in that wheelchair so I could care less." And I looked at her and I thought, "Well, do I have to?" And she just said, "Get off the phone." I said, "Mark, could you please help me up?" And Mark said, "Sure." I said, "Are you sure you want to walk?" I said, "Yes." And I about walked their legs off that night. I thought, "I'll show you, Lois Barrett." And then I heard Lois in her bedroom, and she was crying, and Mark said, "Honey, don't cry." She said, "That's the worst thing. I hated to do that to my mother. But I knew I had to make her mad enough that she was going to show me that she could do it." And he says, "She did." He says, "That's the only reason I did it, was to make her mad enough to show her that she was going to show me that she was going to do it." But I stayed with Mark and Lois for a while, and then I stayed with Max and Joyce. And each time I had to go to therapy 3 times a week, while the bishop and his son would come and take the wheelchair and take it down the steps over there, the Barretts, and at there and Cindy's, and one of the Lois of them would take me in, and I have therapy. And at Joyce's, why, we didn't have any steps to go out of, so she could just help me that way. But that's how I got going back until I got on my feet and things going like that. I wanted to come home, and Daryl said, "Mom, you got to have a new well." And I said, "Well, then get me a new well." So Dee Raymond and Cal Farmer and Daryl come and drilled me in a new well. And I said, Lois said, "Well, how will you take care of yourself?" I said, "Very carefully." I said, "I can walk with crutches, and I can wheel the wheelchair to the bedroom door and walk that way, and I can make it." And so I did. So I got to come home. Oh, it seemed good to come home. I was so happy to get home. But I was very, very happy. But while I was up in the hospital, our state president told Darren that he could ordain Daryl an elder. And so I got to see Daryl be ordained an elder up there, which I was real happy about. I got an awful lot of cards. In fact, I got 3 scrapbooks full of cards. And Now this, I'm going to tell you some choice experiences I had in the temple, in the different temples. I had to make a mind up which family I wanted to be sealed to. My own mother and father, or the family that raised me before I turned 18. So on the morning of the 26th of October, 1936, my mom, dad, Proctor, who raised me, took me to the Salt Lake Temple. And we met my daddy, Frank Proctor. And the mother that raised me was going to stand in proxy for my mother. And Athel was there, and Jim was there. And all of them was there. Annie wasn't married yet, and she didn't have her endowment, so she didn't want to take out her endowment, so she couldn't go in and be sealed. Well, we went into the temple, and I sat in the waiting room hall, in a nice white dress and everything, and while these other things was being performed with my daddy Frank and my mom Proctor. As I was sitting there, I thought, who should I be sealed to? I don't even know the mother that had me. I've never seen her. I don't know her, but the mother that raised me, I do. And I closed my eyes and I said, Heavenly Father, will Thou help me make the right choice in this, so I'll know the things that I'm doing and do it right. And I opened my eyes, and I looked up. Standing in the doorway was one of the most beautiful women I have ever seen in my life. And she was smiling at me. And I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that was my mother. So when I got to the sealing room, before I got there, the sister that come to pick me up, as she come through the door, she said, I believe someone was here from the other side to visit you, weren't they? And I said, yeah. I said, I'm sure that lady was my mother. And she said, my dear, have you made your decisions? Because they all knew I was here. And I said, yes, I have. And she said, I knew there was somebody there, but I couldn't, I knew the presence was there, but I couldn't see him. And I got into the sealing room, and the spirit in there was just beautiful. And my mother that raised me was sitting, kneeling there at the altar with my daddy Frank. I walked over and I put my arms around her, and I loved her and gave her a kiss. I'm sorry, but this is just a little bit touchy to me. I told her, they asked me if I had decided who I was going to be sealed to. And I said, yes, I want to be sealed to my own mother and father. And Mom Proctor started to cry. And I told her, I said, please don't cry. I love you with all my heart. And I'll always love you. You'll be my mother. But I feel like I need to be sealed to my own mother and father. And I told her, I said, I'll honor you, and I'll be the best daughter that I can. And whenever you need me, I'll be there to help you. I apologize, but this was so special to me. And then she said, they went on with the sealing, and we got outside, and Annie was out there, and she said, well, are you sealed to Dad and Mom? And I said, yes. And I said, I'd like to tell you something I saw in the temple. And I told her about the lady I saw, and she started to cry, and she said, oh, Ruth, that was Mother. And she said, I was praying that someone would show you the right way so you could be sealed to our family. And I said, well, sweetheart, your prayers was answered. But I told Mom, Dad, and Mom and Twilla when we was going back home, I said, Mom, whenever you need me, I'll be there for you, no matter where you're at. And they were always the grandparents to my children.